Residents in the West San Fernando Valley are scared and on edge tonight after a string of burglaries targeting expensive homes, often when the occupants are inside. Attempted home invasion robbery turns into a violent confrontation in Valley Village when the homeowner opens fire, shooting one of the suspects. The wounded suspect was rushed to the hospital along with the homeowner, who was hurt during the incident.
The second suspect escaped.
Picture this. You've worked your ass off, saved up, and finally moved into that dream neighborhood. Manicured lawns, friendly neighbors, and a general sense of safety that makes you feel like you're living the good life. But here's the thing, criminals know that too.
A typically quiet neighborhood in Valley Village turned chaotic and bloody shortly after 3 p.m. Monday afternoon. Los Angeles police say that's when two young men broke into or somehow entered a home on Addison Street near the intersection with Colfax Avenue. What happened next is likely something they did not expect.
Two suspects entered a residence with an occupant inside. That occupant armed himself with a handgun and fired at the potential burglars that were inside of his home.
Bullets critically injured one of the intruders, who collapsed at the scene. His accomplice bolted, and officers from the LAPD's North Hollywood division quickly launched a search by air and on the ground with canine units, among other resources. Authorities believe a getaway driver may have been in the mix, but that individual and any others involved in the crime were not found. The victim was somehow injured during the encounter, taken to the hospital in stable condition. His weapon.
It's a semi-automatic. It's not a revolver. It's a semi-automatic handgun.
You see a nice neighborhood and you see safety. Criminals see your neighborhood and they see food. Nice, expensive, tasty food. Nice neighborhood, nice things, right? In what is typically a quiet, peaceful area, you had these two criminals break into a home. They probably thought they hit a jackpot. Thankfully, the homeowner wasn't about to roll over and play victim. He didn't have to because he had this little thing that all these goofy politicians keep trying to restrict called a gun. He turned the tables, opened fire, and critically injured one of the intruders. California's gun laws are some of the strictest in the nation. We know this, but they didn't stop or prevent this violent encounter from happening.
Tonight over a Zoom meeting to talk about how they need to have each other's backs, be their own neighborhood watch, because they feel there are no consequences for the people who do break into these homes.
I feel like it's the wild, wild west out here now.
Behave badly, get rewarded. And those that behave, get screwed.
This homeowner had to rely on his 2A rights to protect himself. But what if there had been more intruders? What if he had run out of ammo because California says you can't have more than 10 rounds in your magazine? In high stress situations, accuracy goes out the window, and those extra rounds could be the difference between life and death. Anti-gunners love to argue that no one needs more than 10 rounds. Well, tell that to the homeowner facing multiple attackers. Criminals don't play by the rules. They don't care about magazine limits. In a home invasion, every single second counts. And the ability to defend yourself effectively shouldn't be restricted by some random number made up by a politician who has private security. This homeowner did what he had to do with what he had, but he still got injured in the process, unfortunately. But let's not ignore the fact that the other suspects are also still out there, and thus could probably come back if they wanted to. Who's to say they don't come back? The police are doing their best, but they can't be everywhere at once. This is why the Second Amendment is so crucial. It empowers law-abiding citizens to defend themselves when the need arises. In a nutshell, the Second Amendment isn't just about hunting or sport shooting, as they keep trying to sell you. It's about protecting your life and the lives of your loved ones. Living in a nice neighborhood doesn't make you immune to crime. It just makes you a more attractive target. And restrictive laws like California's magazine ban only serve to put law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage. So to all of my homeowners out there, please stay vigilant, stay prepared, and never let anyone tell you that your right to self-defense should be compromised, because at the end of the day, when danger comes knocking, it's your responsibility to protect yourself and your family. You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for or hopefully even avoid a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you, and we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.